Hello, everyone. Welcome to our third session of 6 Tips at 6. My name is Pam Okeson, and I'm a Community Engagement Librarian with LaPorte County Public Library. Tonight's 6 tips will help you get started with Flipster. Flipster is a digital newsstand with access to a variety of magazines. At this time, the library has 76 different titles available. And a majority of those titles are geared towards adults, but there are 8 to 10 of them that are popular magazines for kids and teens. The magazines are available using a web browser, and that's going to be our main focus here tonight. You can also read them on any device like an Android, iOS, or Kindle Fire device. And there's also a way to download the content so that you can read it when you're not on the internet. So the main thing you need to get started is your library card number, and then you can start reading Flipster magazines. All right, so let's walk you through and start with our first tip here tonight. Let's get our cursor so that you can see it. Okay, so our first tip is, what do you need to do to get started? We're going to start in the place that a lot of our online content is available, library website, laportelibrary.org, and you'll go to Library Online and select Stream and Download. On this page, we have access to a lot of our different content, but you'll scroll down just a bit to find Flipster. And here, all you need to do is click this image of Flipster magazines, and it will open access to the Flipster website. And here's where you're going to enter your library card number. And this is where you'll see the titles that are available. So let's go on to tip number 2. How are you going to find the titles that you'd like to read? There's a couple of different ways. You can explore the categories here on the side. There's a lot of popular topics like food and cooking. So let's look at that as an example. We've got 11 different titles for food and cooking, and you'll see the list and explore. When you find something that you'd like to read, all you need to do is click on the title or even the cover of the magazine. Read this issue and it will open the title. Another way that you can explore and find more titles is through, let's go back to our main page here, these collections at the on the main page here. So for example, if you wanted to just browse and see what all of the titles are, you could click on View All, and this would give you a list of all 76 titles that we have. A third way that you can find titles is to use this search bar up here at the top. So for example, if we wanted to look for Consumer Reports, that's a popular magazine a lot of people like to read. We have both the Consumer Reports and the Consumer Reports Buying Guide. So you can just click on the title and it should open. Give it a little second here and it should open the cover for you. So our third tip is, how do you go about reading? Well, it opens the cover and you just use the arrow keys here on the side and click to navigate forward and backward in the title. To see all the pages, you can just hover over Pages here and it will give you the whole view of all of the pages in the magazine. So as you scroll, if you wanted to click on maybe this article here, More Choice, More Power, you would just click on that and it would take you to that page. We also have full screen mode, which is another way to view and read. There's a little button up here in the right-hand corner of your viewing screen. That'll give you a little bit more viewing space on your actual computer screen. And then to exit that, you can just click that same little button again, and it should go back to the way it was before. You can zoom in on different parts. So if you click on some words, or on the side here, you can zoom in, and I think maybe it's not responding. There we go. It was waiting for me to click something. All right, now if I click on it, it will actually zoom in or zoom back out. And you can also click on these buttons over here to control how much of a zoom that you get if you really want to zoom in tight on some of the text to make it easier to read. When you're ready to look at a different magazine, you can just close out of the one that you're in and go back to the original Flipster page to find other titles. And anytime you want to get back to this home page after you've searched, you can always click on that Flipster symbol up in the corner and it will take you back to this page. Let's talk about how to make that reading experience a little bit better. Let's talk about navigating. So if you hover over all issues over here, the handy table of contents is available right here. You can scroll through like you would if you were looking inside the front pages of the magazine. And let's say, oh, I want to read about vacuums. You can click right on that and it will take you to that page that has the article about the vacuums. Makes it super handy and easy to get there that way. Another feature, let's go back to, let's see, how about we'll use pages and go back to the very first pages in the magazine. So when you're looking through, sometimes when you hover over different parts, you'll see that the text will turn highlighted yellow and you'll get this little pop-up box that says, oh, this article will go to page 63 if you click on that. So those are some hyperlinks to get you to different pages faster in your magazine. There's also the option over here with settings. When you hover over that, you can click and show just one page at a time if you prefer reading that way. There's also options down here at the bottom to adjust how it fills your screen. If you want it to fill the width or the height, you can select options there to change your viewing experience. And you might have noticed when we hovered over all issues, the additional issues, the back issues, are all right here. So you could browse through those and say, I wonder what the differences are between this time of year, last year, what were the recommended products. So there's lots of different ways to get to different issues with the different magazines. So let's talk about tip number 5. How do you get help? If you're confused or you need a little bit of help, right here in the Flipster homepage, if you click on help, you get a pop-up window with some support. So for example, if you wanted to look at the Flipster FAQs, or maybe you wanted to read more about the desktop viewer or perhaps the mobile viewer on a device, you can read some more information here and get some help. Another place to get some great help is where we started on the stream and download page. There's a tutorial link here called Learn. And if you click on that, it gives you a tutorial about Flipster that you can go through and learn about how to use it. If you take a look at the lessons, there's full support here if you're preferring to read on a mobile device like an Android phone, Apple phone, maybe even Kindle Fire. You can select those and it will give you some of the instructions. So if you need a little support setting up that information or setting up the app on your device, it will give you that access. There's also a little support right here in the center. Our last tip, we're going to go back to the Consumer Reports magazine here. What happens if you have limited Wi-Fi access? Well, if you're using a mobile device, the magazines that you select, the issues you select will download automatically. But if you're on a computer like this, you would want to select print. And if I ask it to print either just the pages that are in view or print all pages, it actually opens as a PDF that I can go up and download to my computer. This is really handy if you aren't going to have Wi-Fi access. If you go somewhere and you download several issues, you'll have the option to read those at any time. Or for those who are teachers, if you have a PDF of a magazine that you'd like to share with your classroom, you can add that link or upload that PDF to your learning management system and share it with your students for assigned reading. Okay, those are our tips for tonight. Short, quick, and simple. We invite you to enjoy all of the great magazines that are available all of the time. All you need is your library card. Join us again next week, and we will be talking about Canopy, our movie streaming service, and you'll learn all about how to access digital movies. All you need is your library card.
Hey Pam, we did have someone comment on Facebook that they wanted to know about the Overdrive audiobooks in their car. So I'm going to reply to her comment with the link to last week's Overdrive 6 Tips at 6 that we did, and I'll give her the link to that YouTube video.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Join us again. We're going to continue this series on Tuesday night, and we hope that you're learning a lot and you're able to use more of your resources. Take care.